What is up? What is up? We here back again with another one. This another PPR mock draft here. Yo, a lot of bands
Yeah.
in the in the sleeper channel, the sleeper chat.
Yes. I know.
Man, it's so funny. We're just talking about like the Nets and the NBA stuff. Obviously, the Suns and
We're talking
Clippers
about
game
NBA stuff.
6.
Lucky, you don't know anything about
You're right.
NBA.
I know nothing about NBA, and I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
that's my wife. Sorry. We're actually live right now. Sorry, but you can do things in the background if you want. Um, hey, Ahan, I see your comment, my guy. He says Discord, please. Someone tell me about the Discord. It's a great community there. There's a description in this video. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
description, you'll see a solo.to link. That's gonna let you join our Discord, my guy. Um, I can't send a link from my personal account, so let me quickly switch to the other one,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and let me
yeah.
see if I can send this for you
It
and
should
put it
be
in the
in the
chat.
description of this
It is.
video as
It is in
well.
the description.
Yeah. So click on that link, but Zach will put it in
There
the
you go.
the chat
There you
as
go.
well. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
You should be able to see it.
That sends all the links, everything that you need. You know, I guess it's time to plug. Patreon, Discord, everything that you see. Yeah, patreon.com/fantasylandfam is in that solo.to Fantasyland football link. If you don't know, we are doing follower leagues where you can play dynasty and redraft leagues, and if you want, you can play both in best of both worlds. Check out that tier. We are going to be starting that soon. We're going to be announcing some dates as we get closer to the season when we're going to be doing these drafts. But yeah, sign up. Let us know. You don't only join the follower league, but you also unlock our rankings that are updated week to week, and you get
Bonus
bonus
episode.
episodes. You look. There's a bunch of stuff that you're gonna get, free Q&As all the time. Obviously, shout out to community for supporting us so much that like we get hundreds and hundreds of DMs every single week. That sometimes we just have to prioritize some people now. But yeah, all love.
Yeah.
We're here now.
By the way, sorry, just quickly,
Mm-hmm.
Ahan, did you want to do a mock draft with us? I don't know if you're from Facebook. We got a couple things going on Facebook. If you do, we are thinking about potentially doing another mock draft right after this one because what happened this time in our Discord, we sent the link. It filled up quicker than it ever has. I'm pretty certain that it filled up in 15 seconds. It was crazy. So let us know if anyone who was just watching, you really want to be a part of the next one. Join our Discord in the mock draft channel. Just let us know that, hey, if there's going to be another one, let me know. I want to be a part of it. We want to make sure everyone can. Hey, 15 people watching. Can you help us? Can you drop a like in 3, 2, 1? Drop a like. That's going to help us reach more people. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are doing a PPR redraft mock draft on the show today. I always say show. It's a live stream. I don't know what's wrong with me, but
We're just getting
the
used to
chat
language.
the chat is active. Shout out to Dexon, who is always doing the countdown king. Shout out to Gabe. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Gator, Harry, Ahan, Kieran's back. We back, baby. Somehow we're already on a bunch of likes. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, that's huge love.
But yeah, just quickly, I want to highlight something about these leagues that we're putting on for you guys. I know that there are other, fantasy brands out there who put people in leagues and they don't participate in them just to have people in leagues. That sounds really boring to us.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting on these leagues because we genuinely want to play with you guys, our followers. We're going to be active in these drafts, drafting with you, trading with you,
Yeah.
looking at waiver wires together, having our matchups against you. We're going to really care about these because honestly, whoever wins, you keep your money. We want to win. We're trying to win. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
one thing we didn't notice. You actually win your money back when you sign up to the Patreon, and if you do win our league, you win your money back, everything that you got, and a nice little gold trophy.
that's
Hopefully,
right.
hopefully in the
You're going to
making.
come onto the podcast. You're going to tell us why we're terrible and why you're better than us. It's honestly a really fun vibe. So we'd love to have you guys be a part of that. Again, the link to that is pinned to the chat. It's also in the description. It's the Patreon link. So let's go ahead and switch over to the
Yeah,
to the draft board
I'm
here.
on the wrong screen.
Dexon said, Zach,
Funny.
say hi to your wife for me. She's actually out of the room now. But Yeah. So I'll let her know though. I'll let her know Dexon said hi.
Hey,
Um, what
that's
are we
funny.
looking at here?
Yeah,
Suns in
my
four.
bad. Suns in full, baby. Woo!
Okay, shout out to
CP3 walking in.
everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and get this randomized here. I'm hoping it's gonna let me randomize. Cause last time it just okay. We're gonna randomize three
Okay,
times.
here we
Here we
go.
go.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Where am
the
I? I'm at
112.
7. Okay, I'm
Eric.
cool with that. 1, 7.
I got the 12 spot being.
I don't think we've ever mocked with William Wonka, and so that's awesome. Whoever you are, like, I'm so glad that more people are able to get into this. Shout out to OJ Splashin. I'm pretty sure that's Eddie, and Eddie is a part of our redraft league. He's thinking about doing our dynasty league. Shout out to Dexon. We've definitely mocked with DSH. That is Daniel. Shout out to Daniel Ilioy. Shout out to Jack. How about this? I think that we haven't mocked with you. Let us know who you are in the chat. Tebow fans been here before. Shout out to you, Burluke, Tommy, and Badake. So this is really exciting, guys. We're excited to. Okay, so Gabe is one of these people. I think it's William Wonka.
Yeah, Gabe is William Wonka. Willy Wonka.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. Just so you guys know, this is a 12-man, obviously. PPR redraft mock draft. You have 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. 6 bench spots, no kicker or defense. I mean, we do that in some of our leagues, but for mocks, it's kind of not necessary to do that.
Yeah.
This is my 7th time watching the stream. Shout out to you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Hey guys, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want to be a part of these mocks in the future, you can. We always let our Discord community have a chance to be part of these. We send the links there.
I keep forgetting that I have the links on this thing. I keep switching.
Yeah, you're good.
My bad.
You're good. Badaki better be careful with those tabs.
Yeah, you sometimes.
No, someone's gonna catch you slipping, my guy.
Honestly. Nah.
So this is a spot when I'm drafting at the 7. There's always Nick Chubb and Zeke, and I'm always stuck in between 2 worlds, man. Because I feel like Zeke's gonna get the bigger share, and I think he's gonna be more involved in the passing work. But Chubb is just so good. I think he's better at this stage in their careers. It is so difficult. I don't think I can go wrong here, but I think Zeke has 1 more year of elite production, so I'm gonna take Zeke at the 1-7 in a redraft league.
I like the pick. I personally believe that Zeke is gonna have a bounce back year. I think in the PPR league, I would be going Zeke over Chubb. Going into this year, I do believe this offensive line is back. It's healthy, and they don't have everyone back, but it does get better. Obviously, Dak Prescott is on the center. There's going to be less pressure on Zeke because when Dak got hurt, it was like, okay, everything's going to Zeke. Everyone was like, Zeke is going to skyrocket. Then he took all that pressure.
I didn't say that, bro. I didn't say that.
Yeah, I traded him.
I remember you said that.
I traded. Well, he did decent the next week, and I was like, oh, and then I traded him.
No.
I traded him away after that, but I think he'll have a better year this year for sure.
Yeah, shout out to everyone watching. Really appreciate you guys. It means a lot that you guys show up to these streams. Drop a like to help us reach more people, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm just going to address the chat real quick. Tommy wanted the 1. He didn't get it. Ryan Mozzie he is in this chat. He is drafting at the 8. So welcome to I don't think we've drafted with you, Ryan. So welcome. I'm glad we're able to draft with you. Gator fan says, is it a regular roster setup? Yes. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 6 bench spots. PPR. Dexon said, I'm bad at this. Don't worry, man. We all bad. We're just learning together, bro. We're just figuring it out all together. So don't stress. My mind is blown going back to redraft. No super flex. I know. Because we do these dynasty ones as well. Let's go. Jack got Saquon. Yes. As a Giants fan, I'm sure you're hyped about that. I take Zeke in PPR because of the receiving. Agree. Chubb over Zeke any day. People are going to see that differently. Browns fan, say Chubb over Zeke. Yeah, there's definitely not a wrong answer, guys, between Chubb or Zeke. I don't think that you could go wrong. Chubb's going to get his. Zeke is going to get his. You don't have to worry about Pollard. Pollard will play a role, but I'm saying like the 2 running backs that are complementing those guys, Hunt's going to get his, but they're going to run more in that offense, so that's fine. And Zeke is going to get the lion's share of the work there. I mean, he's got a massive contract, so it makes sense to run him into the ground there.
Man,
Okay,
I actually haven't drafted at the 112, I think, this whole offseason, and I'm being stuck here. And I took Gibson, and my second guy, I'll be honest, I'll tell you who I'm toasting up. Is Joe Mixon, and Najee, because I have him right back to back in my rankings.
okay,
And do I want to take Najee here? Do I want to take Joe? I mean, all the reports coming out, Joe's about to get a workload, quote unquote, like we never seen before.
sure.
But I think I might go Najee
Yeah.
here. I might take a chance. I think not. Nah, I'm gonna go Joe. I'm gonna go Joe Mixon.
Joe's gonna get the biggest workload of his career
Be-
because he's really shown that he can stay healthy when that happens.
yeah.
That report's hilarious to me. All these reports out of camp, you just got to take them with a grain of salt. But I
Hmm.
don't think Mixon's the wrong pick there. Eckler at the 9. You still had Akers on the board, Gibson on the board. Is that surprising to you that Eckler went at the 1-9?
No, that makes sense. He's actually my
Okay.
RB7 going into this year so far. I like him there personally. Or sorry, Eckler. I thought of Cam Akers. No. Eckler, it is surprising, in my opinion.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right, so Tommy's going just all Chiefs. He's going Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's the best offense in the league. A lot of people believe Clyde. There could be some people watching saying that's too high for Clyde. I don't think it is, man.
No,
I
I don't
really
think it
don't think it's
is.
too high for Clyde. I think it's right where it's comfy. It's
100%.
right where that is the first time you can take Clyde. So I don't think it's the wrong pick by any means. So Dexon saying almost 20 likes. We are at 20 likes. Wow, you guys
Wow.
are amazing. Thank you so much. If you can drop a like if you haven't, that would mean a lot to
We
us.
got 21 likes.
Um,
Sheesh, boy.
Chubb is a better running back, but Zeke has the upside of receiving. That's true. And Ryan agrees with the all Chiefs
Let's do
strat.
it. That's
So
funny.
Eckler, Diggs, that's a really great way to start, especially in a PPR league. Eckler I think was a little high, but if you're thinking PPR, both of those guys are going to get a lot of receptions. So
Hmm.
I don't hate the strategy there personally.
No, it's not terrible. I do like it. We just have to see. It's going to be interesting, Tebow's fan, to see who's going to come around to him and be his second RB. And there goes, oh, Kelsey goes off the board right there, 2-6. I
Yeah,
wasn't
look,
I
I
wasn't
mean,
expecting you to do that. It's interesting.
the thing is though, Kelsey wouldn't be the wrong pick in the first round. If you took him anywhere from the 110 onwards, that wouldn't be the wrong pick. This is a guy who is going to be the clear tight end 1 in a position that, you know, is always going to be a higher tier than others. So best
Mm,
offense, best tight end. I can take him in the middle of the second. I'm going to do that every time at 2-6 if he's there.
yeah, makes sense. Why is nobody taking? Oh, there you go. I know I'm taking Kelsey late first. There you go. And then Zach takes him. Cole World. Oh, he got kicked. Oh, he did get
What does
kicked.
he mean he got kicked out? What
I
happened?
don't know. He must have.
Tell us what happened. I'm not sure what you mean.
Was it like you closed your app or something and then you got kicked or something? Because yeah, that's true. Because Tommy's in now, and Tommy was like he wasn't in before. Remember?
That's so weird.
That's
I
weird, bro.
don't know what happened, bro. I'm
I
not sure
don't
what
know,
happened. Let us know. Um,
man.
why nobody taking Kelsey? He always goes late first. Yeah, I mean, look, I was able to take him in. That's what I'm saying.
Kelsey.
If Kelsey falls to me at the 2-6, I'm taking him every time. Whoever drafting at the 8, I mean, I just don't feel like if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play this year, I don't think Devontae Adams is going to be anywhere near the value of a Travis Kelsey. So,
Yeah, I agree.
yep.
I
All right.
completely agree.
So we've got a couple people doing double RBs, a couple people doing RB wide receiver. Now, Chris Carson just went off the board before Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery. Is that surprising to you?
Um, a little bit. I think it was 2 spots above his. No, I would have taken Monty over Chris Carson. I probably would have taken Josh Jacobs over Chris Carson, and yeah, Miles Sanders. I mean, my rankings have changed significantly coming in as we're getting closer and closer. And Chris Carson went down. I have Miles a lot higher. So, yeah, it is surprising. I mean, I wouldn't have gone Chris there, in my personal opinion. There goes Mahomes as well. Mahomes goes off at the 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Dexton took
Yep.
him. This is
Yep.
Kittle
And
in the
Kittle and
top
then
three.
Ridley. So the top 3 tight ends go in the first 3.5 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on the board here, and I see AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, but
You already know how he feels about JJ.
I just can't take JJ that early, man. I just can't take JJ that early. So I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at the running backs. I see Sanders, Jacobs, Travis Etienne. Let me look at my rankings. I'm pretty certain that the next guy would be Sanders. I just don't like that. Um, I'm gonna have to go Sanders here. I just don't love it though. But
Okay.
that's the way my rankings show. So I'm gonna take Sanders. I've got two running backs in the NFC East. Maybe I should rethink that because they're both going against the Washington football team.
Look, I like Miles Sanders. If you listen to our latest video that we talk about Jalen Hurts, and I think this offense is going to be ran through Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and Devonta Smith. I think Miles Sanders, with the new offensive coordinator, he's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to be worked in the pass game a lot more. The offensive coordinator that's at the Eagles now was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers with Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler. Obviously,
Right.
Austin Eckler was hurt, but he was with Austin Eckler and Phillip Rivers and all these other guys, like 3, 4 years, 5 years back. So think of the Chargers offense back in the day with Phillip and Austin. Think of Miles Sanders doing that now this year. Obviously,
Hopefully.
it's hopefully. That's my opinion. But I'm
So
excited.
I just want to address the chat real quick. I don't like the Eagles line. Yeah, they definitely need to improve after
Mm-hmm.
last year. Cole World says after the third time you randomized, I didn't have a spot. Dude, I'm so sorry. I don't know why that happened. If there's enough people on Discord who are interested in doing another mock draft after this, then we will do another live stream and another mock draft today, right now after this one. If there's enough people interested, so just
Mm.
comment in that mock draft, and if you can get a crew of people, we'll do another one. Dexon is talking about his Patrick Mahomes selection at the 3-3. He's saying, I just didn't want anyone else. So he took Mahomes. I'll just quickly say this about Mahomes, guys. If I can offer any advice, it's just to not draft Mahomes at all this year. Just don't be the guy in a redraft league who takes him in the third round, because you can get the top tier guys. Normally, they're falling to the fifth round. You can get a Josh Allen normally, a Kyler Murray, a Lamar Jackson in the fifth or sixth rounds this year. So I just feel like there won't be enough of a gap in the points to justify taking Patrick Mahomes in the third round when you could have taken a George Kittle there. You could have taken a Calvin Ridley, another running back. So I am personally not going to be taking Patrick Mahomes in any redraft leagues, not dynasty, but in redraft leagues, you won't see Patrick Mahomes on any of my teams in a draft. So
No, makes sense.
Justin Young says, guys, I made a trade last night. So basically, I traded away Ayuk and Beasley for Mike Evans in full PPR. Thoughts? Evans is going to be my wide receiver 3 with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb.
I mean,
So this is a redraft league. He traded away Ayuk and Beasley for Mike Evans. Um,
uh,
Instantly, I feel like it's a pretty even trade. I think
and
Evans is going to get more touchdowns than Ayuk. Ayuk might get more receptions. And then I feel like Cole Beasley, we don't know if he's even going to play or not. He has that issue with the COVID protocol. So I think it's a relatively even trade. I think we're both higher on Ayuk than the general consensus. So that might be the
yeah,
only
I think
reason we're hesitant here.
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like my wide receivers, Evan's gonna be my wide receiver 3 with Amari and Lamb. So you have both of the Cowboys.
But he could easily trade those. Those
Yeah,
are both going to be very valuable wide receivers, and he could easily
yeah.
trade them.
I think I like it. I think I would have rather kept Ayuk personally. So I'm not saying that I don't think it's not even. I think I just would have preferred Ayuk over Mike Evans at this very moment, which sounds
I
crazy.
think I think I'm okay with it, to be honest. Like I think we always see things a little bit differently, but I just want to give him a little bit of comfort. I'm okay with it personally.
Okay.
I don't hate the move. I think Mike Evans is gonna. We could see the connection forming with Tom Brady last year, so I think that connection is just gonna continue. So
You're on the board here.
I'm on the board here, and it's either Julio, Mike Evans, or I could punt and grab my third running back.
Oh,
Interesting.
what do you
What
know?
should I do? I'm gonna grab Kareem Hunt here. I'm happy with the wide receiver depth in a redraft league this year, so
Say
I'm pretty
less.
happy with the way I've started. Zeke, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, and I got Kelsey, the X factor for me. I'm happy with the Mike Evans side of that trade. I think it's even both ways, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense. Ryan, I
Ryan says he
love
loves Burluke's team.
Cam, Najee, JJ, Terry. Oh, that is nice.
Yep, that is nice. That's actually a really nice team.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that team.
Uh,
Um, Balidat. So PPR keeper league, Deontay in the 8th, Lamar in the 8th, or T Higgins in the 16th. Keep 2. I'm leaning Lamar and T. Yes,
yes,
we would both say keep Lamar and T Higgins.
100%.
We're not massive fans of any of the Steeler wide receivers. We've been talking about that on our podcast. We have YouTube videos about it. Badaki and I are pretty much avoiding all Steeler wide receivers this year unless it's at a massive discount. So
Yeah.
we would definitely say to keep Lamar and T.
Mm-hmm.
Good insight on the Eagles OC. That does make sense and make me like Sanders a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just
You okay?
Texon said, Zach, can you adopt me? I don't know why that's so funny.
That's fine. Why you just really just burst all out there? Wait, what?
Yeah. I was like, that's just hilarious. Tommy Gunn says, I like how you draft Zach. It's more the way I do it. Yeah, I think if I can grab 3 running backs and the best tight end in the game, then I'm gonna do that and punt
Who's Tommy
the
Guns
wide
again?
receivers. Tommy Gunn isn't Tommy C.
No, yeah.
I don't know if we've drafted with Tommy Gunn. I'm not
Tommy
sure. I
Gunn.
think we might have done that once. I just can't remember. It's hard to remember.
Anyways, all good.
Okay.
Tommy Gunn. What's that, Matt?
So after Hunt, Chris Godwin goes off the board. He's before Mike Evans, then Amari Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
Julio Jones, Jamar Chase, DJ Moore, Robert Woods, Mike Davis. I just want to say quickly on Jamar Chase from redraft leagues. It feels like he might be overdrafted. Do you think that's possible, or do you feel like he's going to instantly come in and make a massive impact?
It's hard, man. I do think that he can and he could come in and make an impact, but it's just the question of when. When is that going to happen? Is it week 1 right off the bat where he goes guns blazing, or he's going to be a second half guy where, Jamar Chase is going to he's going to lose you some games, with the expectation of him getting a lot of work. I personally believe that he's going to flourish a lot earlier than expected. So when I say, how like midweek after the bye week, that's when they start using their rookies. That's when they start going crazy. I think it'll be 3 to 4 weeks before that bye week, depending on if they have a late bye week. If they have an early bye week, then that's great. That means it's an early breakout. If not, then it's a late breakout. So,
all right.
Mike Davis there, the 5.52. So Cook, Monty, and Mike Davis. Not terrible. D Hop and Chase. Yeah, I mean, what other wide receivers on the board? Makes sense. I mean, what do you do there?
Dexon said, I don't know what running back to take. If I was you, I probably would have taken Gaskin over James Robinson. I am under the belief that James Robinson is going to be the workhorse guy. It's just mouth service, in my opinion. I don't think James Robinson is going to have a bigger workload than Travis Etienne this year. It feels like something you say to kind of honor like the guy who's been there. Like, hey man, like yeah, he's great. And then you kind of fade him out more quickly than you expect. So I would have gone Myles Gaskin there. He has a bigger opportunity to finish the year as the RB1 on his team. But yeah, I mean, that's why we mock. Hopefully that's helpful.
Hopefully.
Believe that says, appreciate you guys. Been subscribed for a few weeks. Great work. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for subscribing. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're watching. Drop a like if you can do that for us. Tommy Gunn says, no, I want to draft with you guys. So Tommy, there's actually a really easy way to do that. In the description of this video, you will find a a solo.to link. But do you want to explain how people can jump into our Discord?
Yeah, absolutely.
While I make my pick?
Yeah, so like Zach said in the description, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. That brings you to all the links that we have. So Discord, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Patreon. So check out that link. I think he also put it in the description of this chat, depending on when you entered. But what I can do is actually post that for you again. Okay. I'm going to post it solo.to. So it's in the chat right now. So you can definitely click on that link and then click on the Discord, obviously, icon, and then join there. And then goes all the quarterbacks: Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott. You took Lamar Jackson there in the 5th. I mean, the top tier running or quarterbacks are technically gone. Not really. I mean,
So I
there's
guess
still some value there.
this is where I wanted to explain my Patrick Mahomes take and even solidify it further, right? Look at team 3 and team 4. One got George Kittle and Josh Allen. The other has Patrick Mahomes and James Robinson. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I can take George Kittle in the 3rd and then grab Allen in the 5th rather than Mahomes in the 3rd, it's just going to help your team in a much more it's going to make your team stronger all around. So pass on Mahomes, guys. He's going to go too early. And there's just a lot of good quarterbacks you can find here in the 5th round. All 4 of those quarterbacks in the 5th round, and you've already got solid pieces in the first 4 picks. You're chilling. You're chilling. I mean, I'm looking at my team. My wide receiver depth is going to be weak, but there's a lot of depth at wide receiver. I mean, I've got Lamar, Travis Kelce, and I got 3 running backs I can count on. I'm feeling really good about this squad personally. Can you give me an A because I'm your son? If you draft well, I'll give you an A. We'll see. I sniped Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan. I want to join the Dynasty League 1. So if you want to join our Dynasty League, if you want to play Dynasty with us, there's a comment that is pinned. There's patreon.com/fantasylandfam. That link is a link for you to join our Dynasty League. If you want to do a mock with us, those Dynasty mocks typically happen on Mondays. So join our Discord, and on Mondays, make sure you get into the mock draft. I was going to target the Mark Andrews Lamar stack. Yes, sir. Mark Andrews Lamar stack is definitely a stack I like. So, Badaki, you've got Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Travis Etienne, Allen Robinson, and Kenny Golladay. Pretty good team. How you feeling with it? And Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I just took I'm liking my team. I like Gibson and Joe. I think Etienne is going to be a guy that I can put in as a flex for options throughout the year. And then hopefully, he can kind of do something crazy. But yeah, A-Rob, hopefully with Justin Fields. Obviously, Illinois knows how I feel about Justin Fields. Hopefully, he can come and start immediately. And then Kenny G. I think people are sleeping on the guy, not because he's on my team. I actually genuinely do like him. I liked him last year. I wanted to draft him last year. JB sniped him away from me, and then he got hurt. So I got I dodged a bullet there. But, I mean, Kenny G is still the same Kenny G. And Russ. Yeah. Russ is going to cook, hopefully. I hope so.
Honestly, Kenny Golladay is being underdrafted. He was just brought in on one of the largest wide receiver deals. And he's the clear wide receiver 1 in his offense. And an offense that's going to be at least competent. And somehow he's falling to the end of the 5th round. I was hoping that was someone I was going to draft. I was hoping he might come back to me. I forgot you're a Giants fan. Yeah. And, that's, you obviously see value in him as well. But, man, it is what it is. I definitely feel like he's being way underdrafted.
Yeah.
Michael Carter in the 6th round, Badaki.
Look, Is
that too high? We don't know when this transition is going to happen, man. Is that too high?
Let me just see who's on the board here. Look, I don't think it is. I think this is where he's going to go. Right at the moment, it feels like you can get him in the 8th, like late mid-8th, late 8th. But I feel like that's where he's gonna skyrocket to. I don't know. I just could be wrong, man. Like, what? In reality, Michael Carter, right? He just took Michael Carter. Who would you have taken on the board? We can probably say a Damian Harris, a Zach Moss, not even a Zach Moss, a Trey Sermon.
I think my point is I would have probably punted the position at that pick.
I guess if everything checks out, like obviously I would have gotten a quarterback because if you're looking at your team potentially, but I guess we're just talking about the position and where he's at right now. Michael Carter is great value there when we know what's going to happen to every one of these guys. You know, Melvin,
Mm-hmm.
we expect Javonte to take over. Lenny, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen there. Raheem, we expect Trey. Chase Edmonds, we're not necessarily excited, even though he's RB1. Kenyon Drake, RB2. James Conner, RB2. Like, there's no one there. So why not take a shot on a Michael Carter there? Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to really say where he's going to be going, but I think it's good. That's where he's going to be as we get closer to the season.
Yes, sir. I just took Adam Thielen. I was gonna take Ayuk. I think Adam Thielen
Oh, you
has the
took
more.
Thielen. Wow.
I
Touchdown.
did take Thielen. I think, yeah, he's got a higher chance at touchdowns, but also when we think about the targets, man, I'm stumbling over myself. I feel like the Vikings and the Niners want to do something similarly on offense and defense. I'm not saying they're both the same talent, but I think the Niners want to play good defense and they want to run the ball. There's three options on in that receiving core really. It's Ayuk, Debo, and George Kittle. When I think about the Vikings, they want to do something similar. It's Mike Zimmer's a head coach. They want to be a better defensive team. They want to run the ball well. And there's
Hmm.
two options to receive really in that team, which is Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. So I think in the 6th round,
Yeah.
there's still big value there with Adam Thielen, but I don't think Ayuk's the wrong answer either. I
I
was
think
going to take Ayuk
Yeah, I
potentially.
think just to kind of point people to that video, watch the Justin Jefferson video because we talked about Alan Thielen really briefly about, okay, if Justin Jefferson can go, why not take Thielen in the 6th, in the 7th, wherever he
Hmm.
can fall because there's still value there. And he is the touchdown monster. I mean, what? He finished in the top 12 in touchdowns
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken as a wide receiver. So, I think it's good.
That won't happen again. There will be regression. He's not
Oh,
going to get the same
100%.
amount of touchdowns as last year, but still, he's going to have. It's kind of like, man, this could be the year it all falls apart for him. But in the 6th round, I'm willing to take that chance and hope that he has one year left. Um, the chat Dexon says, What do you think was my worst pick so far? I would say the Patrick Mahomes one, or sorry, no, I would say,
I would say
yeah,
I
either
would
Mahomes or James Robinson.
Yeah, I would say James Robinson. I can understand why Zach will fade a 3rd round pick Mahomes, but I did that last year and it actually worked for me. But you had to make some moves in the off season.
No, the reality is though, you took him in the 3rd. Did he return that value? He didn't really return the value when you think about it. He didn't finish in the top 3.
I mean, he purely himself won weeks. I mean, Josh Allen just went crazy last year. Who else finished
But
ahead of
that's what
him?
I'm saying. Like, it's not always the obvious answer. Like, Mahomes will probably be the quarterback one, but it's not unrealistic that that could not happen, and you could have drafted him too early.
Mhm. Okay.
Um. So sorry.
Uh
T. Higgins goes. I think that's a good pick there. I was also
mhm.
considering T. Higgins, Deontay, Irv Smith. We're gonna we're gonna tell you this is a massive reach for Irv Smith.
Well, yeah,
This
he
is
put it there.
actually a guy we are completely avoiding. Um, Noah Fant was still on the board. There's a ton of tight ends we would have taken over Irv Smith there in the 6th round. So no, I don't think we would have taken him. Gator fan says thoughts on Brandon Ayuk versus Debo. Do you want to shed any light on that,
I
Badaki?
think that's another direction. Watch the YouTube video about Brandon Ayuk over Debo. We actually made a video specifically on that. Well, specifically on Brandon Ayuk, but like Debo was in the conversation. But we would rather have Brandon Ayuk, but it's hard because Debo is talented. We believe he's talented, but can he stay healthy? That's the big
Mm,
question.
yeah. Debo's such a good talent, but you're right. Can he stay healthy? I don't know the answer to that, but I think we're gonna go Ayuk. But I will say maybe there's more value in where you can get Debo this year compared to Ayuk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're drafting Ayuk too high, but we both believe in his talent, so it's really difficult to pin that. Uh, Fields is the man to give A-Rob his top wide receiver status. I agree.
Yeah.
I hope that happens. Yeah, look, I'll just quickly say a couple more things on Irv Smith as I'm on the clock now. So that was convenient timing.
No, look, I kind of I'll think I know where you're going. At least I hope.
Yeah.
look, it's not that Irv Smith is not talented, but once again, we are going to direct you to the Justin Jefferson video because we do talk about that offense. This is the same reason why our Zach is fading Justin Jefferson's ADP, because this offense is ran through Dalvin Cook. They are a run first offense, and we don't think that the passing game is going to be as significant as it, or at least I'm assuming that's what you're believing, as significant as
Yeah.
everyone's expecting it to be now, with Justin Jefferson having a breakout year and everything kind of going that way. It's Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook. Those are the three receivers, and I don't think Irv Smith is going to have any sort of value. We could be wrong. I mean,
He will
fantasy.
have some value, but not
Yeah, we're
not
not
where
excited.
everyone else.
Not where you just took him at the 6'10". I think you
Yeah, that's
you
way too
you
high.
took him way too high in our opinion.
Oh,
But
so I'm currently just in like wide receiver purgatory. It's just
did you just change the clock and gave yourself more time?
no. I've changed it to 30 seconds. There's 30 seconds on the clock now. I need to pick my pick in 9 seconds now.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And when I look at the board, I have to go. As stupid as it is, I have to go Juju and just hope that I can trade him.
Unlucky.
I hate that pick. I really hate that pick. I hate that I just did that. He is the highest available on my board. I really hate that I had to do that, man.
Sorry, man.
It was either OBJ. I don't believe in Judy as much as you. It was either OBJ, Judy, or Juju, and I just had to go Juju, and I hate it. I really hate that I did that. But here we are.
Here we are. Look at this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of talent. Hopefully, somebody falls to me. Here we go. Let's look. Yeah, Fields 6 is very early. I don't think so. I'm very biased. Big reach on Irv. Raheem, the dream, bro. You reach on Robinson and Irv Thomas. Jack. I'll ride that train until it's Trey Sermon. Yeah, 100%. Gator fan. Debo versus Lockett. Why would you rather have, and where would you be comfortable drafting each in redraft? Debo versus Tyler Lockett. Man. Let me just.
I think I'd rather have Lockett because I think they're gonna be a. There's two reasons. The Seattle Seahawks defense is going to be still pretty bad this year. They're going to have to throw the ball more than the 49ers. And Tyler Lockett is the clear second option there, whereas there's like a Kittle and Ayuk. You're battling with these targets. Will Raheem Mostert get some of that work? So I think it's going to be inconsistent like it was last year, but I'm going to go Tyler Lockett personally over Debo.
The one guy I'm going to be taking over Debo, which it sounds crazy right now. I'm going to take Robbie.
Okay. I think that's a good pick.
I like Robbie here. I actually have Robbie right one spot above Debo. And he has that connection with Sam Darnold. Honestly, like, I think, I'm not saying Sam Darnold is going to have a breakout year or have something crazy, but I do think that he becomes this offense gets a little bit better with Sam Darnold on the center.
Well, it can't get worse than Teddy. I mean, well, yeah, it can. You could have Drew Lock.
Teddy did a good job, man.
Oh, shoot. You got 2 seconds to pick.
Oh, my gosh. Sheesh. It's going to give me a tight end, I bet.
You just got auto-picked. Hey, that's a good auto-pick, though.
Oh, man, I forgot. I was back-to-back. I'm used to just picking one.
Turn your auto-pick off. What a freaking noob.
I'm used to picking one and not doing it. Man, that's dumb. Who would I have taken there? Let's just see.
I think Harris is probably the better pick.
Yeah, I mean,
or any of the wide receivers, but
I probably
it is what it is.
Yeah, I probably would have taken Robbie and Lavishka potentially, or Robbie and Tyler Boyd, maybe a Robbie and a Mike Gesicki potentially as a tight end option. But I'm happy to wait. I'm good with Lenny. Y'all sleep on Letty, man.
Let's quickly address the chat. Juju and someone's giving a sick emoji. I know. I hate myself for doing that. Gabe says, generally, if you aren't taking an elite tight end, I'm trying to fade tight end until way later. Something I'm trying to work on. So I agree to an extent. I think this is the first year, and I said this on our podcast yesterday. By the way, we have a podcast. It's called Fantasyland Football. You can find it on literally any podcast platform in the world. I think this is the first year that there's proper tiers to the tight ends, and you can draft them based off of tiers. I was hoping that Tyler Boyd was going to fall to me, and he's there. So I'm going to grab Tyler Boyd here. That makes me feel much more comfortable about my wide receiver room. this is the first year where there's proper tiers in the tight ends, right? You have obviously the big three. You got Kittle, Kelsey, Waller. And then I think there's a proper tier two now that's Kyle Pitts, Mark Andrews, and TJ Hawkinson. And if we look at where the board falls here, Pitts was too high, I think. But Andrews and Hawkinson, I think that's still proper value where they were taken. Outside of those two tiers, I think I am punting the position and waiting super late to grab a guy that, is kind of a sleeper, like a Troutman, um, a Higbee, an Evan Ingram, a Jonnu Smith, Logan Thomas.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I think there's properly two tiers now, which is cool. Which is cool to see. Um, to be honest, I'm an OBJ hater. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you either love the guy or you hate the guy. There's such a big stigma on Juju. He's not that bad in all honesty. No, Juju's
Yeah,
not the problem.
100%.
Juju's not the reason why we don't like Juju. We just don't like Juju because of the Steelers wide receiver core in general. The Steelers in general. We made a video about this, and it's a Chase Claypool video. It's on our YouTube if you want to hear us fully explain the reason why we're
Yeah.
avoiding all Steeler wide receivers. But essentially, I'll quickly give you a little preview. Ryan Tannehill just went off the board. Big Ben threw the ball 40 times a game last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
40 times a game. And that was the third highest of any quarterback in the league. They don't want Big Ben and his noodle arm to have to do that. There's a reason they drafted Najee Harris, and they're going to be running the ball a lot more. The defense is still good. They would rather have Big Ben throw 25 times a game than 40. So I think we're going to see that worked into their game plan this year. So that means a lot less targets for all these wide receivers.
Yeah.
That's why we're avoiding the Steeler wide receivers. I have a spicy pick coming up, LOL. Spicy. Gator. Who is the spicy one for Gator?
Is Gator even in the thing? Oh,
I'm trying
Tebow
to figure
fan.
out which one.
It's Tebow
Yeah,
fan.
yeah. Oh,
Tom
I
Brady.
wonder if that was Brady. Yeah. Brady in the 8th is great. I love Brady. Let's see where he went off. He was the quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He was a quarterback 9 off the board.
Right.
And honestly, I think you could have gotten him in this round that we're in now. I don't think you had to take him that early. I could be wrong, but I think he can slip into the 9th, and he's my quarterback 6 on the year. So I love Tom Brady. I think he has a great chance to be a really, really good player. So now I'm looking at the board, and I could actually do anything here. I could genuinely do anything with this pick. I think what I'm gonna do is take a chance on a guy I believe in.
Okay.
Nah, I'm gonna go for a little bit of unknown, a little bit of upside. I'm gonna take Jalen Waddle in the 9th round. Hopefully they get him the ball. I feel good about my wide receiver core, even though I didn't take my first wide receiver until the 6th round. So I'm gonna start looking at upside from now on.
Okay.
Zach? How do you like Goddard? So you took Goddard here in the 9th round. I don't think that's a reach by any means. He was the tight end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He was a tight end 10 off the board.
It's not terrible. I don't think it's terrible.
He's my tight end 8 on the year for redraft, so I think that's proper value. I think you got him there. Outside of Devonta Smith, Jalen Reagor's going to play. He's going to play a role, but I think Devonta Smith is the only other guy to kind of steal targets there. So I like the pick personally. I think Goddard there is a great value.
Okay. Yeah. I don't mind Goddard. He's my tight end 9 at the moment. Just still some value on the board, in my opinion, in tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. It's crazy, and I love it. Says Dexon, what's the best remaining tight end in your opinion? I mean, do we want to give that away during the mock draft? There's a lot of people on the board that are pretty. Ooh, Justin Fields. He got auto drafted, but I mean, here, and I am on the board. Let me make my pick at the very moment.
I mean, to me, there's a clear tight end that's left. that I think is the best. When he goes off the board, I'll let you know. But I mean, when I look at the tight ends available, there's one that I'm staring at that I'm like, this is so obviously the best tight end still left on the board. So will be interesting if anyone grabs him. Um, have you been hearing the reports about McCole Hardman? Does that change your mind on him at all?
No, it doesn't change my mind on him. I'm interested to see if where is he playing? Is Tyreek on the outside? I mean,
I think they play him all over, to be honest.
I think it depends on where he's playing.
Hmm.
Let me just check the depth chart.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna play him in the slot, move him around, kind of where Sammy Watkins was playing. But
Chiefs.
most of those guys can be interchanged pretty easily
Well,
all around.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking if he's in the slot, I might be interested. But like, who does Patrick Mahomes, target so much in the middle of the field? Is Travis Kelce. So like, is he really gonna have any value there in the slot as a slot wide receiver? So at the moment, it looks like Tyreek is to the right or Tyreek is to the left and McCole Hardman is to the right, where Demarcus Robinson is going to be in as a slot receiver. It looks like obviously Travis Kelce is going to be in his position. I don't know. I mean, does McCole Hardman play the Sammy Watkins role of last year? But how did Sammy finish? Did he do anything spectacular? Did he?
Oh no, he doesn't. But I mean, there's one less guy there, and there's been reports out of camp that McCole Hardman has really refined his route running, and
Yeah, I've
he's
seen that.
improved all the areas in the offseason that he needed to be a more pivotal part of this offense. So it's definitely something that I could potentially be looking at.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
All right, Gus Edwards, I took him in the 10th. We made a video about J.K. Dobbins on our YouTube page. You can check it out. But we also highlighted Gus Edwards. From the time when J.K. Dobbins took the lead role
Yeah.
onwards, Gus Edwards was the running back 20 in fantasy football. So they just signed into a contract. I think he's going to be very involved in this running game. So getting him in the 10th round, I feel like is a good value. We got some questions in the chat. I'll address it, but I'll just quickly say Logan Thomas just went off the board. He, to me, was the clear best tight end available when Dexon asked that question. He's my tight end 9. He goes all the way in the 10th round, so I think that's really good value. But Aki, do you like living in Australia? Tommy asked that.
Oh, it's a dream. When I first moved here, you know what they say when you come to Australia? That you live in the dream. That's what they said. Do you know where that's from?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. They say you live in the dream when you come to Australia, but it's absolutely beautiful. The weather is nearly perfect almost every single day. I'm living on the biggest island in the world with some of the best beaches, and the people are awesome. It's crazy. I see the Opera House all the time. Has anyone in this chat seen the Opera House? Obviously, I know Ilio probably.
I have.
But like every time I see the Opera House, I literally say, "Damn, I live in Australia."
It's true. Every time you go into the city here in Sydney, you're like, shit, this place is nice.
Bro, that's the Opera House. Like, you thought about it and you saw it in movies and like, oh no, like it's actually real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually real. That's actually how I feel as well. Hey, we got 25 people watching. Shout out to you guys. That means a lot. If you could help us, maybe we could reach 30 likes on this. That would be insane. Drop a like in 3, 2, 1. Let's see how many likes we can get to. Subscribe if you like the content, if you vibe with us. Yeah, if you want to be a part of these mock drafts, you can. You actually can be a part of these mocks. The Discord. Our Discord is how you be a part of those, and the link is in our description of this video. It's the solo.to/fantasylandfootball.
Yeah.
Click that link, join our Discord, and you'll be able to do these mocks with us in the future. So there's a couple of questions in the chat, Badaki. Do you want to address those as I'm about to make my pick? We're actually getting a little behind on the
chat. Yeah, Gabe.
Chat.
Drake was an auto pick for me. It's all good. Same. I had a couple auto picks. Ryan, do you guys look for Cornell Powell on the Chiefs to put on a taxi squad? I think he's definitely an option to put on a taxi squad. He's definitely not my first option. I guess it depends on who is available in your league, because I definitely would take a lot of other people over Cornell Powell, but I do believe he's talented. Justin Young, hey guys, since I have Cooper and Lamb, what kind of RBs would you guys trade away for probably Cooper? Would you trade away for probably Cooper for MT. Amari Cooper. Who would I trade Amari Cooper for? Man.
I think if you could get MT, that's a pretty even trade.
Yeah, I think of people like for example, I mean, no, I'd rather have Amari
It
Cooper.
really depends on what type of league you're talking about, dynasty or redraft. But in a redraft league, I feel like MT for our Cooper is pretty relatively even value.
I think he can go
We
a
can
lot higher for Amari Cooper.
probably get like a Chris Godwin.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I thought of Chris Godwin. MT is
See,
decent. I'm on the board now. Sorry.
maybe a Terry McLaurin potentially. Um, you could try for Keenan Allen with someone, Allen Robinson. Just see what how far you could push the envelope there. Okay,
Last two picks here.
and I'll just say quickly, by the way, because Ryan was asking about a taxi guy for dynasty leagues. Go get I'm gonna say Noah Gray. Go get Noah Gray, the tight end from Kansas City. Put him on your taxi this year. There's been a lot of hype out of Kansas City that he could be the heir apparent to Travis Kelce. He's got a really, really great body for the position. That sounds weird to say, but he does. Out of Duke, he kind of feels like the potential Travis Kelce replacement role there. So that's a guy I'm looking, and he's on my dynasty team. So Tyreek Hill actually gets the majority of his snaps from the slot out of the 11 personnel. Yeah, they move those guys all over the field.
Yeah, you see, like that's what I'm saying. Where if the two top targets are Kelsey and Tyreek, I don't see how McCole Harmon is going to be getting anything. I could be completely wrong, but it's going to be interesting to see. He could be a sleeper coming into this year.
Yeah, he could be a sleeper. I mean, Sammy Watkins is gone, so now it's really Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. They need another guy to take the attention away from the offense. I mean, Cornell Powell's there. Pringle, I don't know if Pringle re-signed or not. I actually don't know that, but
I can double check Pringle. Doesn't say he's on the team. Demarcus Robinson. Damn, they got a lot of receivers. They crazy right now.
major pause. Apparently you stole Dexon's tight end, Badaki.
Oh, who? Jonnu Smith?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. Sorry, man. I mean, that's my sleeper tight end. Those are the guys that I'll be. Jonnu Smith is somebody I'll be targeting in the late rounds. Jonnu Smith, and there's still one more guy on the board that I love. Because I do see value in them. I'm not going to say if he does go off the board, then that's great. But if he does come to me, then I'll just pick him for the low so you guys can see who we're talking about. But I think we should do draft grades.
I think we should as well. Sorry. Daniel said major pause, Zach. He's got a great body for the position. I know. I know. It's sus. Do you guys like Vegemite? No, it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible. It's awful. All right. By the way, we'll do a quick Q&A at the end of this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like this video if you haven't yet. That would mean a lot to us. But let's go ahead and do draft grades. Badaki, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. William Wonka. CMC, Chris Carson, Kenyon Drake, and Chuba Hubbard. You get the handcuff there for CMC, but I think we would have gone, a Monty there, a different running back in the second pick instead of Chris Carson. DJ Moore, Roberto Woods, DJ Chark, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, and Paris Campbell. Look, it's decent. I'm not excited about DJ Chark. I think I would have taken who else could you have taken? A Cortland Sutton. I would have definitely have a Claypool over a Chark. Sounds crazy. I don't like the Steelers wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy maybe. And then you got Matthew Stafford and Darren Waller. I think Matthew Stafford's a little too high. You could have had a Ryan Tannehill rather than Matthew Stafford, a Joe Burrow, a Tom Brady. I think you got to think about that. So I give this team a B-. A lot of reaches everywhere for me on this team.
Okay. And just so you guys know, when we give out the draft grades, we're just trying to be honest and help you out. It's not anything intentional or, it's just like, hey, this is what we would do differently. We could be wrong. This is what we would do. Mm-hmm. All right. Team 2, OJ Splashin. You got Dalvin Cook, David Montgomery, Mike Davis, Trey Sermon, Javion Hawkins. Really strong running back room. Your wide receivers are D-Hop, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Russell Gage, John Brown. Your quarterback is Ryan Tannehill. Your tight ends are Gesicki and Higbee. So the only issue here for me is your wide receivers. I like Chase. I am just a little bit worried that we're overdrafting Chase. I don't know that he will be more valuable than T. Higgins in his first year. So that worries me a little bit. I think I would have probably taken someone else over Chase. But then if you're going to take Chase, you kind of want to avoid both of the rookie wide receivers just for risk aversion, right? Like
Right.
you've got Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase. What if both of them don't pan out yet as rookies? I like their talent, but that worries me. Otherwise, this is a really good team. Ryan Tannehill's great value late. I like the potential of Gesicki and Higbee when you punted the tight end position. So this is going to be an A minus. I actually like the team. It's just
Okay.
the wide receivers I would have done different. This could actually have been an A plus team, genuinely. Actually, I need to give it a B plus. I'm sorry, I need to give it a B plus because the more I look at the tight ends and the wide receivers, I just would have done things a little bit differently in a redraft league. So it's a B plus. I'm sorry.
No, all good. All right, Dexton, Alvin Kamara, James Robinson, Melvin Gordon, and Todd Gurley. Look, it's a bit weak on the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where you see why Zach doesn't like to take a tight end in the third. You could have had
I
another
mean,
running back,
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes in the
Mahomes.
third.
Sorry, quarterback in the third. You know, you could have had a Miles Sanders, a Josh Jacobs, a Travis Etienne. Any of those guys could have came to you, and you could have solidified that running back room, and then still gotten, one of the top tier running backs. It's like, imagine taking Josh Allen instead of James Robinson there in the fifth. That's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes
Yep.
sense from what Zach's saying. DK Metcalf, Julio Jones, Chase Claypool, Will Fuller. It's a little bit weak in depth in the wide receiver position. Once again, we're not a huge fan of Claypool. Will Fuller, interesting. Irv Smith, Rob Gronkowski, and Zach Ertz, 3 tight ends there. Irv Smith, like we were talking about, is a reach for us. And you also took Deshaun Watson, which could be a sleeper, or he could not
I think
play.
it was an auto pick. I think it was an
Oh,
auto
it was
pick.
auto pick. Okay. He said, "Oh no." Look, it's hard to say.
We
Okay,
have to be honest.
we
We
have
have
to
to
be
be
honest
honest.
here, and it's not the best outcome. In reality, your top 4 people are good. Other than that, there's no one on our team that I really like. To be completely honest with you, so I'm gonna give this like a C plus. B
Yeah.
minus. I think that's kind of like the
This
even
is why we
standpoint.
mock.
Yeah, this is why we mock. Like
Let's get better.
yeah. Next one.
That's what they say when just any football team. If you see behind the scenes and hey, let's get better today, boys. Let's get better.
Yeah, let's get
All
better.
right,
Do your job.
team 3. We got Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Zach Moss, Darnell Henderson. We've got Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton, Laviska Shenault, Corey Davis, Gabriel Davis. We've got George Kittle, Logan Thomas, and Josh Allen. So you've got Henry and Jones to kind of carry you. You've got a pretty solid wide receiver core.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not obsessed with Deontay Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not obsessed with Cortland Sutton. I think Zach Moss was a good pick at the selection. I think Darnell Henderson was a good last pick. This is a good team. There's no obvious flaws. Your wide receivers, you started taking wide receivers in the 4th round. I feel like they should look better. It's a good team though. This is gonna be a B plus for me. It's not an I can't take it to an A just because after like if one of your running backs goes down, you're down in a bad way. And that's the only reason that I can't give this an A. But it's a B plus. It's a good team. This team could definitely win a lot of games.
Okay. My brother Jack, say, J.K. Dobbins, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, and Kenneth Gainwell. I like your running back room. There's a little bit of depth there. Raheem Mostert, he can probably get you 6-7 games. Chase Edmonds, we hope he's a starter all year. Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, T. Higgins, Darnell Mooney, Henry, Huggs. I like the wide receiver room, no doubt about it. Kyler Murray, Dallas Goedert, and Cole Kmet. This is a good team. This is a decent team. Like, this is a really strong team. I'll give this an A flat in my personal opinion. I think, if I had to give you constructive feedback, maybe I would have taken a chance on a Trey Sermon than a Raheem. No, because Trey Sermon went before. Maybe, I guess you got to take Raheem there. Maybe you take a Damian Harris at the 5'7", 7'5", maybe. gives you a little bit better depth, and he can be a starter throughout the year. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of, really.
Okay.
But I like this team, brother.
Grade? Did you give a grade?
Yeah, I said A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Daniel Ilioy.
Yo, trade me
What's
Justin
up, my
Fields, B.
brother?
I got it.
Okay.
I like Justin Fields, bro. Send it to me.
All right. This isn't your time to negotiate a trade. Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, David Johnson, Devin Singletary, and Philip Lindsay. Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Pittman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Noah Fant, Austin Hooper, Dak Prescott. I like this team. I don't want to give you advice because I know I'll be drafting a lot of leagues with you, but I will. I think some people would say Keenan Allen was a reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh wide receiver off the board if I'm counting correctly, but I am not going to tell you he's a reach. I love Keenan Allen. I think that's a great place that you can take him. And I'm being genuine about that. I really love Keenan Allen this year. Chris Godwin, love Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk. Your wide receiver room is great. The one thing I would say is I just don't see value in Devin Singletary. I know that you got him late. I don't see value in Philip Lindsay. I know you got him late. I could be 100% wrong. It's just not guys that I'm going to be targeting as like a late upside player. But I could be wrong on that. Same with Austin Hooper. If Cole Kmet's on the board in the 12th round, I'm taking Cole Kmet over Austin Hooper. I just really, really like Cole Kmet, his upside this year. This is a good team, man. There's no glaring weaknesses. You've got depth everywhere. Tight end is probably the one position that's questionable. It's a really good team. I'm gonna give it an A-.
Say less. My co-host and my arch nemesis here, Zach.
Narch nemesis.
Nemesis. Zeke, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, and Gus Edwards. Decent. I'm not a huge fan of Kareem. I don't know why. I can't get behind the Kareem train. But I think it's great for the value there. I think he was the best available running back because Javonte was taken right before. If Javonte was available, home run,
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, you went the late round wide receivers. Adam Thielen, Juju Smith, Tyler Boyd, Jalen Waddle, Mecole Hardman as a sleeper, and Nelson Aguilar. Remix. I would say obviously Juju. I would personally have taken Jerry Jeudy over at that. Robbie Anderson over a Juju in my personal opinion. But I love the Tyler Boyd pick. You took Jalen Waddle before Rashad Bateman. I don't know if you know that.
I did.
But I know you were switching it up. Travis Kelce in the second, and good old the big old Trout and Lamar. I think it's a good team, decent team. Like I said, the only things that I would change is taking the Jerry Jeudy there, then the Juju Smith, and probably Rashad Bateman over Waddle. No doubt about it for me. So I'll give this team. I'll give you A- because you did great.
Wow, I love it. All right, teammate. You've got Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, AJ Dillon, Naheem Hines. You've got Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Tyler Lockett, OBJ, Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall. You've got Mark Andrews, and then you've got Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. It's a good team. You don't have enough running back depth, in my opinion. I like Hines, I like Dillon, but I don't know what upside they carry this year, considering the other backfield that they have. But it's a good pick at the position. I don't love Devontae Adams this year. I probably would have taken I probably wouldn't have taken Devontae Adams there, to be honest. I mean, don't love
it's
him
definitely
over
hard,
other guys.
Like I guess it's hard.
I don't love Devontae Adams. I won't be drafting him. I will be taking a risk aversion, so that's the only issue I have with it. Burrow, Mayfield, not a bad quarterback room. So it's an okay team. I'm just not scared of this team, if that makes sense. I don't look at this team and I get super worried. You know what I mean? So this is just a flat B for me. Just a flat B. It is a good team, and there's just a lot needs to happen. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. A lot needs to happen. Aaron Rodgers needs to come back. Javonte Williams needs to take the role earlier than we expect. Joe Burrow needs to be great off that injury from day one. Naeem Hines needs to be more involved, and Jonathan Taylor should be less involved. You know what I mean? So that's why I have to give it a straight B.
Okay. Florida. Good old Flo Rider. What's good, brother? Austin Eckler. Miles Gaskin, James Conner, Jamal Williams, J.D. McKissick. Look, I understand Eckler. I think you're probably 2 spots above his ADP, in my opinion. I would have taken a Cam Akers or a Gibson and then an Akers at like the 2-1, if that makes any sense. And then you go Stephon Diggs, Mike Thomas, Cooper Kupp, Curtis Samuel, Jarvis Landry. You took Mike Thomas over Justin Jefferson. Would you have done that, Zach, knowing
No,
how you feel
no, I
about
wouldn't.
the Justin Jefferson ADP?
I would have still taken Jefferson if
Yeah,
I had the wide receiver there.
I think yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think I would have taken Justin Jefferson, any of those guys, Justin Jefferson, Terry, CeeDee Lamb, Allen Robinson over the Mike Thomas. That sounds crazy, but a big reason why Mike Thomas was great is
I
because
think
of Drew
Terry's the
Brees.
question mark. Yeah, definitely JJ, CD Lamb, and Allen Robinson, but Terry's the kind of question mark there for me.
Yeah. Um, Tom Brady, good value there. Aaron Rodgers, if he does play, that's crazy. You can get some trade value for one of those two guys. And then Kyle Pitts. I think that's another big question mark. Kyle Pitts at the 4. Obviously, extremely talented. Is he going to be valued at that, the 4-4? Like Zach said, I think I would have taken a Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkinson over. I would have taken a TJ Hawkinson over
Well,
Kyle Pitts.
I guess you can see the way that the board fell. You could have actually punted Kyle Pitts because I think Pitts, Andrews, and Hawkinson I see very similar this year. If I can get one of those guys as a tier 2 guy, I'm happy. So you could have actually punted tight end altogether and got him in the 5th. You could have got Hawkinson in the 5th round. So
Yeah. Man, if this team would have been great, I think. You had everything falling to you at the right. You just took one player over each position, if that makes any sense. I think it's a B minus. I think there's still talent on this team. Really, it kind of just falls off after Curtis Samuel, in my opinion. I don't like James Conner either, so
yeah,
maybe around there. Hopefully that helps.
all right.
Then.
Team 10. You got Cam Akers, Najee Harris, Michael Carter back, Tony Pollard. You've got Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin, Jerry Jeudy, Deebo Samuel, Cole Beasley, not Colt Beasley.
Cole Beasley.
You've got TJ Hawkinson, and then you've got three quarterbacks. So, interesting. I don't know if one of those must have been an auto pick. Yeah, you shouldn't have 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
The
Justin
max you
Fields.
should
Justin
have is
Fields
2.
was auto pick.
Okay.
He said.
So, I like your running back room. Again, we are expecting Michael Carter. If you take him in the 6th, you're expecting him to have a role much earlier than everyone else is expecting. We think that could happen, but it's just a risk. Your wide receiver room is great. I'm not going to complain about that. I like TJ Hawkinson. And I actually feel like if I could get just Jalen Hurts in the 10th round, I think that's proper value in a redraft league. I think that's where I'm actually comfortable taking him. So I actually like Jalen Hurts in the 10th round. We just released a video as to why we're avoiding Jalen Hurts, but that's because we see people take him in the 6th round, the 5th round. You got him in the 10th. I think that's proper value. So I'm definitely okay with that. This is a good team. Obviously, the 3 quarterbacks throws me off. I'm gonna give you a B flat. But it's a good team, I think.
Okay. Tommy. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.J. Ronald Jones, Damian Harris, and Latavius Murray. I like your running back room. I think you've gotten better. I think this is probably one of your strongest ones. Hopefully, maybe I'm talking too soon. But I do like your running back room. It's probably the strongest so far. Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Antonio Brown. This is where you're weak. Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, great. Hollywood Brown. I probably would have taken a Tyler Boyd, Laviska Shenault there, even Robbie Anderson there. Jerry Jeudy went before. Those are the guys I would have taken over a Hollywood Brown. And then Antonio Brown. I know Zach likes Antonio Brown. I'm not a huge fan. I think I would have gone more the young guys, young upside, like Elijah Moore, Rondo Moore. They were still on the board. Even a Michael Gallup, but Darnell Mooney sounds kind of far-fetched, but Antonio Brown, I personally don't see value. I know Zach probably sees that a little bit differently.
I think if you got him in the 10th, it would feel better.
Yeah. Justin, the Herbie Gunslinger, I love that pick. I think it's a great pick there. And then your tight ends, Hunter Henry and Anthony Frisker.
Grade?
B.
Okay.
Decent team.
All right, let's finish this off real quick.
Yours
You got
truly, baby.
Antonio Gibson, you got Joe Mixon, ETN, Fournette. You've got Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, Robbie Anderson, Elijah Moore, Rondé Moore, Devontae Parker. You've got Johnny Smith and Gerald Everett and Russell Wilson. This is a good team. There's no clear weaknesses here. Good running back depth, good wide receiver depth. I like ETN. I think he takes the role a lot earlier than other people expect him to.
You know what's funny? Like I
It's a
wasn't
good
I
team,
wasn't
man.
excited about the ETN pick, and I was like, oh, man, I need to take this running back because if not, I'm not gonna have anyone come to me.
Yes, and
And
that's
then
the issue when you're drafting on the edges.
yeah,
You have to reach slightly when you draft on the edges. So this is a good team. I think obviously, tight end's your weakest position. There's a lot of unknowns, but I think it's okay to punt it till late if you don't get one of the top guys.
mm-hmm.
Fournette was an auto pick that hurts you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a B plus. B plus. I
Thanks,
think it's a
bro.
good team.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Wow.
All
So
right, let's
kind.
finish this off with the Q&A quickly. We got to do a podcast soon, so
Yeah, 100%. Let's do
I
something
don't think I
special.
can do another mock unless there's a lot of people really keen. I'm just like thinking about it now.
That's
My
fine.
mind feels very.
I'm happy with that. All right, let's go do some questions.
Let me know though if there's a lot of people keen. We'll figure out. We'll do it. Okay. Q&A.
Yeah, I'll start with Daniel. Daniel, I couldn't get good wide receivers because I got 2 RB1s, a top 3 tight end, and a top 2 quarterback. I'm assuming
That's DSH is what he's talking about.
Right. Sorry, I didn't have the draft board up. I don't know if you want me to bring that back up.
Yeah. So I gave him a grade. So yeah, it makes sense. It totally makes sense, man. You definitely have to sacrifice something in order to get 2 great running backs, a really great tight end, and a really great quarterback. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys look at dynasty trade calculators to use for your advantage? We haven't found one that we love yet, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of really going based off of our own
Like rankings and understanding of the players and
rankings,
offense and
understanding of the players. There's not a specific one that we could point you to that we love. I think they're all pretty flawed.
Yeah.
Especially because everyone views draft picks differently, overvalues them, undervalues them. So we couldn't point you to a direct one. I think Rodgers plays, so Adams a value for me. Yeah, he could be if Rodgers plays, 2.5 is a value. Of course.
I think that makes sense. So that's how I take it. When somebody's drafting Adams, at his ADP, I think that's because they think Rodgers is going to start. So that makes sense. If he doesn't, obviously, then we all understand what's going to happen there. Tommy Gunn, I'm really liking Damian Harris. He looks comfortable to take the lead. Any thoughts? That was Zach's sleeper last year. That was Zach's like deep sleeper. He thought about him last year.
Had that injury right before the season. That was so annoying. I like him.
Yeah, I think we both like him. I think we do. I think there was a report that came out as well today that he
seems like he's going to be the guy.
So we do like that. I do like Damian Harris. I think, Tommy took him at the 8-2. Tommy C took him at the 8-2. I think that's great. If I had time, I probably would have taken Damian Harris there and had solidified, my running back room. But I do like Damian Harris for sure.
Yeah, I like Damian Harris too. I think in the 8th round, that's crazy value. So, all right, guys, really appreciate the support today. Drop a like if you haven't. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And then we want to tell you about our leagues. Of course, we're going to keep plugging our leagues because we want to play with you.
Play
we've got
fantasy
redraft
with you.
Yes.
Correct way to say that.
Pause. We have redraft and dynasty leagues. In the chat you'll see that pinned. There's a comment pinned from us. It's also in the description of this video. It's the patreon.com/fantasylandfam. 3 options there. 3 tiers. One's dynasty, one's redraft, and then one's called best of both worlds. So if you want to play in both leagues, you select the best of both worlds tier. You get a nice little discount to play in both leagues. We're excited, man. We really care about these leagues. We're putting a ton of effort into them, making sure that they're fun, that, you could play all the free leagues that you want.
Yeah.
In our league, you're pretty much just supporting us to play in a league with us. And then we give you the trophy. We let you be a part of the league. We interview you on the podcast. If you win, we give you a bonus episode. We give you exclusive insight. We give you our rankings. We give you unlimited advice. So, I mean, it's a pretty good deal there. But if you're going to play in a league this year and there's no money involved, I just want to tell you, if you're going to play in a league with a bunch of randoms that you don't know, no money involved, that's great. You can do that. But there's just not as much passion in that. I don't find that people really care if they start to do bad. People don't set their lineups. So we really care about these leagues, and we want to be extremely active in them, making trades with you, drafting with you. We really care about these leagues. We're not just trying to fill them up. We're trying to have a great time. Do you win money in dynasty leagues? Yes. So essentially, if you win the dynasty league, your league, then all the money that you donated to us, basically through Patreon, through the tier that you sign up, you're going to win all of that money back from sign up date. So essentially, you're going to play for free if you win, and then you're going to be interviewed by us, tell us why you're obviously better than us because you won the league, and we'll give you the trophy. And yeah, it's just really fun, man.
Yeah.
You'll have the bragging rights.
We're still trying to like have some works to see if we can get some cool stuff for you guys. But if not,
there may be some extra giveaways for people who win leagues. So
yeah, so we're just trying to still get that into works, but obviously no promises. We're just trying to do as much as we can. So playing fantasy football with us is worth your while.
Exactly. Alrighty, well, I think that's it for the stream today. We're gonna go record a podcast. Check us out on any podcast platform in the world.
Wow.
Fantasyland Football. It's all bands there. It's all bands on the podcast.
Just all bands here, The Western Conference Finals is about to start. The Suns and Clippers. Suns in 4.
Suns in 4?
All love y'all.
All right, guys.
Deuces.